I got one and I used it, and so we're live
Already?
Yes.
Now?
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, it's all going.
Hopefully.
All right,
I wonder
cool.
if I can do this. Can I do that?
Don't
Yeah,
fuck with
I
it
can
if it's
do that.
already
Okay.
going.
Yeah,
What's
I
wrong
can't
with
do
you?
that. Yeah.
Look, I'm trying a new thing with the hat. Do you think it's dumb? Am I too old
Yes,
for this?
it's really stupid.
You don't
It looks
like
like
it?
someone ran over your hat and you're like, fuck it.
No, man, it's how the metal kids wear their hats now.
If the metal kids jumped off a cliff, would you do it too?
Yeah, if it was cool.
Oh, this is...
I longed for the desire to be cool to the kids.
You gotta
Here,
help me
here
reach
you
these
go.
keys.
There you go. Just wear it like I always do.
And now you're ready to serve up a nice flambe.
Yeah. All right.
I went through a phase where I would only wear fitted hats. Yeah. Then I realized I never want to wear a hat.
Yeah.
Then I realized, I mean, like I would wear a hat when forced to wear a hat, and there's times where I'm like, man, I fucking need a hat. It's like,
Wait till you're as bald as I am.
it just makes it worse. It exacerbates it. Just sitting there frictioning off the hat, like
That's been proven to be nonsense. It's all genetics. Like, all of it. Hats, ponytails, all that shit is nonsense.
What about shaving it off? Just comes back.
Yeah,
thick.
I do that.
Comes back thick.
Comes that thicker? Yeah. I like that too. It's a good one.
Yeah. I think a stylish haircut is basically all you can do.
Yeah, I think I'm missing too much to even take that route now.
Yeah, well, just embrace it.
I do, yeah. Just shave it, or I wear a hat.
Yeah, you can't see it, but I got the thing back here. We always talk about this stuff, but anyway. I'm not really worried about it. Like,
Welcome to Kyle and Joey's body maintenance hour.
yeah, body.
Joey, how much exercise did you not do?
Well, I did quite a bit actually.
Yeah, actually, didn't you? You worked a lot.
Yeah, turns out you got to break down boxes before you put them in the dumpster. They do not like that.
I hate breaking down boxes.
And then I lost my knife and I was doing it by hand. I was like, fuck it. Just blowing out four corners.
The grips. Yeah, it's
All
good
right.
though.
It's GoldenSaucer.net podcast episode 216.
A very
June
special E3 edition.
Yeah, this is post E3. We're gonna bullshit a little bit, but I pretty much just
we don't have a lot of time to bullshit, man.
Yeah,
We got to get in there.
just jump right in there. So
Alf might be joining us.
yeah, I got that. What I was doing is I was like checking to see if like I got it queued up. I do have it queued up. Where no Alpha in the seat there, but like yeah.
If you need to, you can be like,
Kick over to
bong.
it. Yeah, you
It's
can just
like
kick over to it. His mic is off, but
solid. All right,
yeah,
well,
it looks pretty good over there.
Alf had some extenuating circumstances again this week that
Yeah.
is keeping him from being in the chair at this moment. He says that he may join us if the circumstances permit,
I
but it's
wouldn't
not looking good.
I wouldn't.
So-
So if he's not here by now. All right. So basically, what we're gonna do is let me pull up my little cheat sheet.
Are we just
here.
gonna go down that whole list you said?
Right. So the there's a nice outline over there too.
Yeah, you like that? My phone's almost dead, so I'm probably gonna rely on you mostly for
Okay.
it.
Oh,
But
you should charge your phone.
can I get like a USB off this computer?
You can go grab one and plug it in. And see what
Oh
happens.
shit!
So user Lofeno on Reddit went through each one of the conferences and had a breakdown, and so I copy pasted that a little bit. So we're going to be using that tonight to kind of go through the press conferences from E3, some of the announcements that we talked about. I don't want to line by line this thing, which I've told Kyle before. Yeah, that's fine. I thought that was yours. You want it? No, I'm fine. So yeah, we have the same phone charger. So that's the...
Damn, it's hot.
Yeah. I think my computer has USB-C to USB-C, but we don't have that cable.
I see. There's an open port in the back.
No. I meant like grab one of those three. Like, yeah, whatever. You're gonna find out that thing charges like shit. Oh, it's all blurry.
Oh no!
You gotta recalibrate it.
I'm back, baby.
Hold on. There it goes.
Can I just plug into this guy right here?
Yeah, it don't matter.
All right, cool.
I'm gonna download your phone while you wait.
Nice. You just get to see a bunch of pictures of my wiener.
I mean, blackmail's blackmail. It works anyway.
None of them are connected to my face. Charging slowly.
That's what I said. You ready for that? You need a powered port for that, and I don't think any of those ports are powered.
What the fuck?
Which one did you pick? Yeah, pick that. Pick one on the actual motherboard.
All right. Like that's gonna do anything.
More likely to have power.
There you are. Come here, little dude. There you go. Bloop.
That should be better. It shouldn't say charging slowly.
It does not say charging slowly.
There you go. All right. So, like I said, we're not going to go line by line that thing, but we are going to go down it and talk about E3, and then like I would hope we talk about some of our favorite things we saw, and then talk about some of the things we didn't see that we thought we would see, and then
Do you wanna shit on Money in the Bank real quick?
WWE Money in the Bank. I mean, we can. Like, it was the best ever.
I thought it was really good.
There was a couple matches that wasn't happening. So we did watch stuff. Let's do that for the what the fuck you've been playing and what the fuck.
Sure, because we haven't been playing anything new.
Yeah, we watched WWE Money in the Bank yesterday.
I've been playing Diablo with some friends that wanted to play Diablo. That's
summer.
It. Yeah, so there's nothing to play. But yeah, we watched. Joey and I actually got to watch a wrestling together.
Yeah.
It was great.
Ooh.
Joey was here with Henry and Christy for Father's Day, and we had a nice time together. So it was nice. You and Christy watched some wrestling.
Yeah, she watches every once in a while with me.
Yeah, she likes it, so that's cool.
She has a lot of questions.
Yeah,
but I do too. So
yeah, I mean, we don't watch the weeklies; we just watch the monthlies.
I don't know what the fuck's happening.
I watched the highlights. So.
I go, who the fuck's that guy?
Yeah.
Billy Zane's here.
What the fuck is Billy Zane doing here? All right, so everything. What do you like the most about Money in the Bank, and what do you like the least?
I mean, not to spoil Money in the Bank. My favorite, like you were talking about, like ask me why.
I think it's fine to spoil wrestling. Events.
Yeah, I mean, like if you have the WWE app, they push the notifications to you.
Twitter
like,
blows that shit up like immediately.
Yeah. So
plus, it's already been Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, Raw's already happening. It's almost over.
By the time you're listening to this, unless you're listening to us live right now, then
yeah. So like one of my favorite things about Money in the Bank is it just creates for some wild card scenarios and like for basically someone to run in at any time and take advantage of the scenario, or even just to like call their shot even super far out, and then they're coming. Like,
so you like that, like I'm coming for you. You don't know when.
They can do that, or like, hey, I'm not cashing this thing in until WrestleMania, or I'm not cashing in until this particular event, and or until this person has the title, so that I can take it from them. They can do it like that. They can do my favorite thing, which is just like I've always enjoyed them immediately winning it and then immediately cashing it in.
Oh, so it was a good night for you.
Yeah, so it was a good night for me. And then like even if they as long as they cash it in like during a pay-per-view, it's really, and especially
so you thought it was good that what happened. Were you happy about who did it? Was doing it?
I mean, I don't like I with Ronda Rousey there. So basically what happened was Alexa Bliss won the female Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And then she immediately went to the championship match, DQ'd the champion Nia Jax by beating Ronda Rousey
with the briefcase.
When she had Nia Jax in an armbar submission, about to tap out allegedly, and then immediately beat everyone in the ring with the Money in the Bank case, and then immediately cashed in to become the female champion. So
pretty sly.
Yeah, it's pretty good, and especially for her, she's like a real big heel kind of character.
And like the thing that is great about it is that like Ronda's like this beast, and then also Nia's this monster. She's so big, and Alexa Bliss is so small.
Yeah, and well, I mean, like, and Ronda did judo throw Nia.
It was great
one time.
It was good,
and I still think she still can't sell the like wrestling style jabs.
Yeah, she's got those Shane O'Mac punches.
She's still like robot arm and that kind of stuff. I don't know. She doesn't sell it the whole way, and like I don't know. And then,
sir,
I feel bad about for Nia Jax because they just basically send her in there to smush people.
Yeah, I mean it sucks when you're big, but I've
that's her angle, but
I've known a similar storyline my whole life too.
Yeah, and so
you play football, right? No, I hate fucking football.
I don't like getting my hands all fucked up.
Yeah.
Who else was it? Like the male Money in the Bank went to Braun Strowman.
My dude.
They did my favorite thing. Like they're like, we need more ladders.
They buried him in ladders.
They buried him in ladders, and he lived under those ladders for about 5 minutes.
Hey, he was under him.
And then he destroyed a ladder, which was amazing.
When he ran through the ladder, that was the greatest.
Good. And
I think my low end of the night is Jinder losing to Roman.
Yeah,
I think that's dumb. I just. Roman winning on pay-per-views is just dumb.
Yeah. He was wrestling when I left.
Especially because like Jinder has so much to offer, and like India is such a huge market. Like you have a lot to offer if Jinder's like doing things, you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
he was the champion for
I know, but then like he loses in like a kind of grandiose fashion. But whatever. And then Braun winning is the highlight for me.
Yeah, I felt like a couple of the matches weren't like so great.
No,
I also didn't
like Big Cass versus Daniel Bryan was like
Yeah.
mediocre, and
the tag team preview wasn't great.
yeah, that was like pre-show.
Yeah, and then what else was in there that I didn't care about?
I didn't care about Kevin Owens trying to recruit people to beat up Braun Strowman.
Exactly.
Also, the mic work was really bad. The mics were out all night.
Yeah.
Booker T's mic was out. Samoa Joe's mic was out.
They had the ring mic, you know,
Was turned up way too loud.
Where
Yeah.
they stomp it. It wasn't working for a while, and
They
then
were also turning down the crowd because the crowd was getting real. Holy shit! Like you know, like but
where's my refund?
yeah.
Yeah, that's always the best when the crowd's like letting you know what's really going on.
Kevin Dunn in the truck is like, turn it down.
I mean, what else was in there? I don't know. It's like that. It's pretty like unremarkable.
Yeah, it was a good show. I thought it was like just fine for what it was.
The Asuka match was okay until like Ellsworth like came back and like interfered.
I'm a little salty about that. I think it's good storytelling, but I really wanted to see. That's the thing. Is
well,
like,
Ellsworth has been her manager before.
not manager, like Bo.
I mean, like it's a manager role,
Right?
like,
yeah, it's
like
the person who's strolling with him into the ring. You know how I feel. I wanted Asuka to win. I wanted Shinsuke to win. So like, you know, I get two big L's.
Yeah, Shinsuke's match was okay, but like
I know. Don't you feel like it needs more?
Yeah, I felt like especially like a no disqualification, last man standing. Like they just pull a table out from under the ring with a sweet diet Red Bull.
Yeah. The Diet Red Bull spot was on there. Yeah.
I'm sure Vince was excited about that.
He's like,
who left that down there?
Put the mosaic over it.
They probably cropped it out. Like
yeah. On the show now, it's gonna be cropped out.
I don't know, just like you know.
Sorry if you don't like wrestling.
Yeah,
Joey and I like wrestling.
Yeah, I like wrestling.
Yeah.
You know, wrestling is one of those things I have more fun watching it with friends.
Of course,
like
yeah,
watching it at home by myself. That's why I was like messaging you guys when it was on. When I was like, "Oh, you see this shit?"
Yeah. No, it's weird.
It's
watching it by yourself is weird. I agree.
So, yeah, that was interesting. So.
All right, well let's fucking start this list, man.
All right.
It's
so
big as fuck.
E3 has gotten bigger and longer, and
some of it's hard to sit through.
This thing is 29 pages long. So, you know, next time you need some work, just type out the E3.
Yeah. Also, I'm gonna apologize in advance because first off, my throat's still not great, so I'm still doing a little bit of coughing. Secondly, there's going to be a lot of games that you might care about on this list that Joey and I don't care about, and we're going to literally gloss over.
Yeah, well, so what I'm going to do...
Like, they announced this. Do you care? I don't care. I'm sorry.
Here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to go through EA's press conference.
Okay.
I'm going to go real quick down each thing, and then anything we really care about, I'll hit the bullet points that are there. Anything we don't... I'll kind of like, if something is like new, I'll explain what it is. But otherwise, we'll just go out. So... EA was first to go up. They're not officially at E3, but they did have a conference there in Los Angeles on the Saturday before. The first thing they came out showing was Battlefield 5. They showed a little bit of the multiplayer, a little bit of single player. Of course, they announced that there was a Battle Royale and said no loot boxes, no season pass. Those are the big notes there.
Yep.
FIFA 19 was the next thing they talked about and announced there's a FIFA 18 trial and then a new Champions League. Then they talked about that they were coming out with EA Cloud, which is a streaming service, which is targeted to multiple devices so that you don't need to have a console to play EA games. After that, they talked about Origin Access Premier. This was going to be access to the EA's Vault, you know, which is their games and stuff like that.
Right.
$15 a month, $100 a year, along with Madden coming back to the PC.
A little steep.
Right. So then they talked about Respawn's new game. Respawn has 3 games in development, and the only one they really showed off was and they didn't even really show it off. They talked a little bit about it and just which was Jedi Fallen Order. So Respawn is on the new Star Wars kick. So hopefully they do a good job there. Respawn is the developers of Titanfall 2. Should be out holiday next year. So a year and a half to that. Then they talked about Battlefront 2, which I thought was really weird. They talked about like adding stuff from the new movies. They talked about new heroes, new villains, Clone War content, General Grievous, Obi-Wan, Count Dooku, Anakin. Then they came out with what surprised me, which was Unravel 2 being out.
It's that little red devil guy, right?
Well, he's not a devil. He's yarny. He's a little guy made out of yarn. It's like a little.
Yeah, but he's got little horns.
Yeah, it's
And he's red.
Yeah, it's fine. It's like a big smile. Anyway, so it's kind of been redesigned around co-op, single player or co-op. It's one of those real family-friendly games, but like has a lot of heart in it. So then they talked about A Way Out, and them getting in, and how successful that was. So they're going to invest into more original content. And one of those things they showed was a game called Sea of Solitude. This is about a young woman suffering from loneliness, and the people who become lonely becomes monsters. And so this is about how the journey from monster to human and back, or monster to human to monster and back again. So it looked kind of neat, like a little like water puzzles kind of thing, like traversal. Should be interesting. Comes out early next year. Then they talked about NBA Live 19, Madden 19, and then they showed a mobile game, Command & Conquer Rivals.
I love that there's mobile strategy game in parentheses. Why?
Yeah. Yeah. It was really weird, but the reveal there was they showed Kane. So if you're like me and you're a Command & Conquer fan, you're like, holy shit, that's Kane. So Kane has not been in the thing for a while. Then eventually they came out and closed out the show with Anthem. Anthem, of course, from BioWare. Basically, they showed that it has 4 suits, which is their classes. You can change classes. No loot box, no gameplay microtransactions, but there will be cosmetic ones. You can play solo. And then they announced that it'll be out on February 22nd of 2019. So it's right around the corner. Anything interesting in there you really want to talk about? Like,
for me, just Anthem.
Really, to me that, like, from what I saw of that, it looked like their answer to Destiny.
Yeah.
And to me, like, I don't want to play more Destiny.
I'd be interested in playing
called Destiny.
I would be interested in playing more Destiny if it was more narrative and story driven, and it had voice acting that wasn't Nathan Fillion being Nathan Fillion. Don't get me wrong, I love Nathan Fillion being Nathan Fillion, but it's at a certain point it's just too much.
It's me, Mao, pew pew.
Yeah, it just straight up.
To me, like, from what I've listened to, there's a screenshot I sent Christy on my phone of like most of the E3 content that I've made my way through, probably about not even a quarter of the E3 content that I consume. 47 hours of E3 content I have backlogged now to catch up on. Of just like playlists and podcasts and videos and things to watch.
Yeah.
And some of them are like things I'm just going to watch.
How are you
again.
planning on doing that? Just
I just had like when you came in,
you just got a thing to put on whenever.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
I just have
car rides, pooping.
two literal whole days of doing that.
Yeah.
So I think like I could be convinced to play Anthem. I heard
try.
some of the, but I just don't know if I can do the Destiny MMO kind of thing again. Like it's not my thing, and it feels bad because like, everyone says like, oh, you're missing out on some good gameplay on Destiny, but I don't know. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know.
I still feel like I owe BioWare. It's weird. I'm still so like
they killed Mass
thankful for Mass Effect.
Mm-hmm.
Like the trilogy, obviously.
Right.
Like
oof.
that like I feel like even though they've made like a couple of stinkers, that like I still want to like believe. Like I want to like be like, you guys still have it.
I mean, but the thing is, this being like this multiplayer online focus thing, is it like,
sorry, that was me.
Okay, is it like going to be a very story driven, narrative heavy game that, or is it gonna be like Destiny where like all the stuff's in Grimoire cards that are offline, that you gotta read about?
Yeah,
like
it could very easily be that.
Yeah, so I guess time will tell. They have well over like 8 months to put something together to make it look.
Supposedly there's some people working on a Dragon Age now too.
Yeah, get your mic a little bit closer, just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just trying to avoid that fat guy breathing on it.
Oh, okay. I'll just put it up here. All right. Next off was Microsoft's E3 breakdown. So I think
I'm pretty impressed with Microsoft's E3.
This one's going to be a big one because they came out and they said 50 games, 18 exclusives, 15 world premieres. The first thing they showed was Halo Infinite.
We don't know shit.
All you just see
Halo Chief,
a Halo Chief, and a Warthog.
He didn't have his helmet on,
Yeah,
but
and
he put it on.
then they showed Ori Will of the Wisp trailer,
Holy shit!
and then they showed Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Holy shit!
So this being a new one is like a fantasy samurai a game. Activision from Software, third person. Kind of looked very Dark Souls.
Yeah, it looked like Dark Souls if like they wanted Tenchu to be Dark Souls.
Very much.
So like there looks like there's some stealth elements. It's in an aesthetic that obviously I'm way into.
Yeah.
So I'm really fucking pumped for that game, and I kind of want to set up like no expectation for it.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like that game looks pretty hypey.
Yeah. And then they announced that Fallout 4 is on Game Pass.
Yep.
And then they showed the Fallout 76 trailer, which we'd already seen. And then they explained that Fallout 76 is a prequel to all the other Fallout games, 4 times the size set of Fallout 4, set in West Virginia. And then
Blue Ridge Mountains.
and so then they rolled on to a trailer from Don't Nod, The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit, which is a game set in the Life is Strange universe, completely free on June 26th. So it's probably it's their lead into Life is Strange 2.
Kind of looked like a journey into a child's imagination who was like struggling with like parental issues.
Mm-hmm.
I might be out of my mind when I was looking at it, you know what I mean? But like that's what I was getting out of it.
Yeah.
It looks interesting. It definitely like looked like one of those like it's a thinker, you know?
Yeah. Up next they rolled the Crackdown 3 trailer.
Old Spice.
With Terry Crews, February 2019, which was already been known. They also announced that it will have the same day Game Pass release. So
hot.
Then they showed the already debuted trailer of Nier Automata, Become as Gods Edition. Automata. Not gonna get a disc copy of that.
Yeah.
June 26th.
Comes with all of its DLC.
Yeah, they on the Xbox stage they showed Xbox One Enhanced,
It is,
but on later trailers they don't emphasize that. In the Square
so like when I downloaded it the other day, which is still like pre-order, bub.
yeah,
It says Xbox One.
right. But did you download it on Xbox?
No, I downloaded on Xbox One X.
Right. I'm saying you downloaded it on an Xbox. But if you watch the trailer that came from Square, if you watch it on Xbox, it has that blurb in there. But if you watch it on Square's site, it does not have that.
Well, maybe they're trying not to shut out their PlayStation sales.
Yeah, exactly. So then they showed a new trailer with gameplay from Metro Exodus.
Looks like a really competent shooter with some cool kitschy shit in it.
They showed they showed the release date there, February 22nd.
A lot of cool shit in February.
Yeah, same day as Days Gone and Anthem, which we already talked about. Then they came out and said for the first time ever on Xbox, Kingdom Hearts 3. And so I think that trailer
Nut button.
That trailer had already came out, right?
No, they did not show the amount of Frozen stuff that they really focused on Frozen.
Yeah.
At the E3 thing. We already knew that it was gonna. We had the release date earlier that day.
Right. I'm saying I thought the trailer came out earlier anyway, and then they just kept like re-showing it.
Maybe I don't know if I had seen that trailer then, but that was the first of the amount of like Elsa talking and whatever.
Right. Yeah, they showed Frozen, Entangled, Wreck-It Ralph, Hercules, Toy Story, Monsters Inc. And then the already announced January 29th release date.
You're gonna be bummed if there's no Moana, Joey.
There is no Moana, I already know. Sea of Thieves. They take a million years to work on stuff. Like the newest thing they have in there is Wreck-It Ralph. Like that's.
Wait, I thought Frozen was after Wreck-It Ralph.
Or Frozen, one of those two.
Yeah, the Big Hero 6 is in it too, and also Pirates.
Yeah. Exactly. They have stuff in there, but nothing's like super new. So then Microsoft talked about Sea of Thieves, new DLC for that.
There's like 2 things for that.
Then they showed the rest of the Battlefield 5 story trailer. Then they came out and showed Forza.
Wrap up.
Then they came out and showed Forza Horizon 4.
Whoa.
Looks great, but
so wow. Normally, you know me, dude. I don't give a fuck about racing games, but they presented it in such a way that made it look cool for everybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean they talk about driving, like they set seasons into it, and then you can drive on different places during different parts of the season,
night and day, different seasons, different weather aspects.
60 frames per second on Xbox One X.
Locked?
I don't think it's locked, but that's probably the target.
Okay.
It'll probably dip a little bit. Seamless co-op comes out same day on Game Pass. Windows cross-buy October 2nd.
Game Pass. Game Pass.
Right. So we'll get there.
Remember that lady with a bob cut came out and she was like, Game Pass.
That's down. That's like 3 things away.
Okay, cool.
So then they showed the trailer for We Happy Few. Out August 10th. That's been in like game preview for a long time.
Are you just giving that another thing?
No, that's yeah, I missed that, but I'll come back to that.
Okay, just get everything. Yeah.
So the
We Happy Few looks great, and I'm glad it's got a full release date now. Because holy shit, it's been way too fucking long for us being in the dark with this game.
Right. So
I still have no fucking idea what it is. Like,
Microsoft came out and announced that they had made a new studio called The Initiative. Then they had purchased Undead Labs, which makes State of Decay, Playground Games, which had made Forza Horizon. I guess who they have working on a new project, Ninja Theory, who made Hellblade, and then Compulsion Games, who made We Happy Few. Then they showed the We Happy Few trailer. So they pretty much had 5
a lot of acquisitions.
Yeah, well, acquire 4 and make a 5th.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty big. Microsoft really trying.
They showed PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, a new trailer, new maps. Those trailers never are what Battlegrounds are, right?
Like, I don't mean to just like be like, yeah, Donkey said this, but like, Jesus Christ, man, like that trailer is so fraudulent as to like every time I look at somebody playing Fortnite or PUBG, they just like sit around pulling PUD. And then like there was like a guy fucking driving a motorcycle like through explosions.
No, like playing Battlegrounds is you hiding in a bathtub waiting on someone to open the door so you can shoot them.
Yeah. Hitting somebody with a frying pan or some shit in a fucking in like a Chevy whatever.
No, it's not a Chevy. Next up, they have the Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition.
I am the only one who cares. I want that.
Then they showed that story trailer for Division 2, which was like fucking weird.
They had like the weirdest depiction of how gamers communicate with each other.
Right, they did the same that same crew from the first Division thing. They
so
came
weird,
in again,
right? Like,
yeah.
isn't it like?
Oh yeah,
it feels fraudulent.
Go over there and check your 6 and what's happening over there.
He's like, oh, I'm gonna need some backup over here at
Yeah, real tactical, real weird. So that's always
nobody
fun to watch.
was told to suck a cock.
Yeah, exactly. Comes out in March. Then your thing you were talking about, the lady came out and announced Fast Start coming to this June.
What if
Game Pass?
That shit that you already don't care about knew what you wanted to do before you did it.
Yeah. So basically what they announced was Fast Start was just they were using AI learning to figure out what part of games to download first so you could play the games sooner.
Joey, what if they got Game Pass to take the Turing test?
What if Game
Hear
Pass...
me out, though. But the Game Pass became so smart that it purposely failed the Turing test.
Yeah, there you go. They came out, they're like, speaking of Game Pass, we added Elder Scrolls Online, The Division, and Fallout 4 today.
Today, you can play them right now.
And then they ran their I don't want to call it the indies, the ID at Xbox little trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we had a picture of that, but I don't recall bringing it up. But it was quite a few games. Then they show the trailer for Shadow of the Tomb Raider coming out on September 14th.
Whatever.
And then
the
the thing that I didn't know about, they showed a trailer for Session, which is like
that skateboarding game, right?
Yeah.
Look cool.
Then another trailer for Back.
I even wrote reminiscent of Skate. That's what I thought too. Like I thought it had like that same kind of camera angle, where it's like the person following the skateboarder with the low camera angle.
Yeah.
Look cool.
Black Desert Online.
So interesting enough, we have a friend who plays a lot of Black Desert Online who's really pumped to hear that it was coming to Xbox. So like maybe there's a target audience there that we don't know about.
Then the thing that surprised me, which you were pumped about, was Devil May Cry 5, not DMC,
right?
Devil May Cry 5,
an actual addition to the main series, not a guidance side story that follows Nero.
Yeah.
The protagonist, well, half of the protagonist from Devil May Cry 4.
Right, you can't call it DMC anymore. It's so weird.
He's the one with the badass fucking motorcycle gun or sword that's also a gun. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I mean that was a very stylized trailer with some gameplay in there. So
look cool.
Yeah,
I've heard a lot of malcontent from it though. There's a lot of like the Devil May Cry like hardcores that are like, I don't like old Dante. Nero's a fucking guy. Like,
yeah,
whatever.
Then they announced Cuphead DLC, which they called the
delicious last course.
Yeah.
You know what? I fucking figured that out the other day. Like I messaged my roommates in like our house chat about it, and like I was like, why are they so much smarter than I am?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even realize it was called fuck it, whatever.
Miss Chalice was a new character.
Yeah, she's adorable.
New worlds, new weapons, console launch exclusive.
I can't beat the first one, so I'm not that excited, but we'll see.
Then they announced
what the fuck is Tunic?
Tunic. Then Jump Force by Bandai Namco, which is your anime fighting game.
Hey, bro, have you looked at a Shonen Jump in the last 10 years? Well,
I was not expecting that. The Goku, Frieza, Naruto.
And then they fought Death Note.
They fought the Death Note.
Yeah.
I don't even know the characters there, so I wouldn't have done much better.
Kira.
Then they showed some Dying Light 2.
Looks fucking fantastic.
I thought we'd seen that already, but
no, I don't think so. But
yeah.
Wow. I was like actually impressed at the ingenuity of that game, because like I didn't think that it would go any further. And it looks like they've made quite a bit out of something that I didn't think was that dope. Like the first time around, like I was like, this is a good game. This is a serviceable game. I like its mechanics. This was also like during the heyday of like the Troy Baker hype. So I was like, it's, fairly well voice acted for like the main character. And I'm happy to see it making kind of a triumphant return too, with like a bigger budget and more dynamic storytelling.
Yeah. To me, it's just like, I don't know, like, I have a hard time with those games because there's just so many of them,
What? Like zombie, whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, but branching paths, my dude.
All right. Like I said, we're going to move at a quick clip here.
I'm liking this pace.
Battletoads was announced with a weird trailer. Yeah, like to be fair, like Phil Spencer had worn a Battletoads shirt like on stage 1 or 2 E3s ago, so it's been in the pipe.
To be fair,
like
how are we supposed to fucking?
They knew it was coming. All right.
No, I'm not happy about it.
You got that like right in the mic for some good Foley work.
Ooh, nice. Everybody brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts.
Some good Foley work. Go on about Battletoads. So this is allegedly a new game. No.
You know what this fixes? It fixes the.
Do you have Battletoads?
Yeah, it fixes the GameStop quandary of.
Do you got Battletoads?
Do you guys have Battletoads?
They had that Rare Replay. Yep, we got Rare Replay. Come get it.
Rare Replay. Suck it, fool.
They showed Just Cause 4, which had leaked already. Still following Rico. Then your favorite game of all time, Gears Pop.
Oh!
Which is a Funko Pop Gears of War crossover for mobile.
When they fucking showed the Pop vinyl, I looking at, I forget who I was actually looking at, but I fucking just straight up looked at you and was like, this is what you deserve. This is what we deserve for fucking giving these people money.
Then they announced a Gears of War tactics game, very XCOM style.
Yo, that actually looks pretty hype. Like, right. It's like a mobile platform, right?
It's a PC.
Oh, is it PC only? Okay. Oh, yeah, that's even better.
And then they finally showed the trailer for Gears of War 5, which they just they just called it Gears 5.
Yeah, it looks okay. I think it's fine.
Anyway, in there's some new enemies, and
we didn't get to hear about fucking Marcus's tomatoes, so his goddamn tomatoes.
Then they talked about their AI, and then they talked about their streaming network to stream to any devices, and then they said they're working on the next generation of Xbox consoles. So then at the end, like they go to conclude the trailer or conclude the show, and then like the screen appears to mess up. And then
we've been hacked, boys.
They appear to have been hacked, and then a bunch of Witcher 3 codes scroll by. I don't know if you saw that. Like there was Witcher 3 codes hidden, like Ultimate Edition codes hidden in all the. And then they showed a trailer for Cyberpunk 2077.
It's fake news. Game's not real.
From my understanding of Cyberpunk 2077, that is like the game of show.
Yeah, it is
for the people who got the behind closed doors.
No, it absolutely is. But that being said, it's also fake news.
Okay.
I don't believe it's real.
I think it's there. I think it's real. I think it's. They're alluding that in interviews that it's targeting current gen, but that might be one of those games like Breath of the Wild that's targeting current gen,
real far out. Yeah.
But it's going to hit next gen to be the true experience. So what are you liking out of that? Like,
so
give me one or two hits there.
It's got to be Sekiro. I think Sekiro is.
Have we heard that title before?
No.
I remember hearing it, the title.
No, you don't.
No, about something dying twice.
Okay. So I was gonna say no. There's a shitty anime called Sekirei.
Oh no,
it's
no,
about
yeah,
big titty ladies that are Pokemon basically.
Oh, okay, go on.
That's it. That's the whole this whole series.
All right.
So that and obviously I'm pumped for Kingdom Hearts, but that's not fair. You know what I mean? Like that's like that's not this E3's thing. You know what I mean? Like Kingdom Hearts has been like promised to us for forever. So
it was revealed at the Game Awards in 2017.
yeah.
So that's why.
Yeah, but like we've all known.
Showing
like,
the tagline "Shadows Die Twice." That's why I remember.
So yeah, Sekiro is like my big pick. And then probably Devil May Cry 5. I think is probably my next big guy at that conference, because like I think that was so like out of left field. I did not expect Devil May Cry.
I didn't either. I was like like it had rumored out, you know, because Capcom had someone had registered a Devil May Cry 5 website and had moved to a Capcom server. Okay. And I was like, well, maybe Capcom just got the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they got the itch.
Well, not even that they got the itch. That just, you know, they're like, oh no, that's ours. Like, fucking, don't be a fucking shithead, you know.
Right. Okay.
Or sometimes that, you know, they do that to throw people off the trail. I guess for me, I would be. I was happy that like I got a couple of beats on this. Like I was happy that like they made We Happy Few look like an actual game now.
Yeah.
As opposed to what it was in early access. I'm probably the most excited, like the Gears being Gears 5 being Kate driven, and that seems like that's probably the closest to being done. And probably for me, like Forza Horizon 4, just because like I enjoy Forza games.
That game looks so polished.
Right, I enjoy like them as a showpiece, like driving around. It's kind of relaxing. I'm also excited that Nier is going to be coming out, but I'm not excited that it's digital.
I know. I've already had to like kind of put those demons to rest. I actually already bought it.
Well, I mean, I already own it on a physical copy.
I traded my physical copy for it.
Oh, you're like, here, give me $35 or whatever. Yeah, okay, that's not bad.
Because like they were also running like, hey, what if we give you extra money for digital bullshit?
Yeah, $5,
like,
I think. Yeah,
that's fine. Well, it was extra 10%.
All right. So after that, we got we move right along to. Also, I'm excited for Cyberpunk, but it's fake news. I need more to.
It's not real.
I'm excited about what I'm hearing, but I
am too. But yeah, it's like being like I'm excited for fucking Elder Scrolls 6. Like it's like it's not real.
Well, that's what we're talking about. Bethesda next.
Yep.
So Bethesda came out and they're like, yeah. They cracked some jokes about Walmart, and they had already showed the Fallout 76 trailer, like their early reveal, and then on Microsoft, and then Rage 2 had already leaked, so they had that trailer. So Andrew WK came out and played
Never Die.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, he played that. And then they showed the trailer. They showed some gameplay. And then so it looks a lot more like Doom.
He could have also done We Want Fun.
Yeah,
that would have been good.
Target is spring of next year. So then they talked about Elder Scrolls Legends, our favorite card game. They're like, we want to like get more people, so they're relaunching it and should be out on Switch, PS4, and Xbox One later this year. I really think Switch is the way to go on that.
That's the way to go.
Because like
Switch is always the way to go.
Yeah. Then they talked about Elder Scrolls Online. You know, new.
Did they say
DLC.
it was a shit show? They didn't say it was a shit show, did they?
No,
it's a shit show though.
All right. Then they showed.
I want to like it, but I just don't. It's
then they showed a teaser trailer for Doom Eternal.
Probably not bad.
You know, Doom 2 is
probably pretty good.
Is also known as Doom 2 Hell on Earth. So you see that like Hell has clearly taken over Earth and not just Mars. They're going to talk more about that. They said at QuakeCon in August. Then they talked about Quake Champions, and they had a free to play week. And if you downloaded it, that you could keep it forever. And they showed a trailer and they showed some characters. Then they came out and what surprised me, they talked about Prey. What is that? A picture of your face?
Yeah.
New Game Plus, survival mode, story mode update. They showed a new DLC that was out that day. A new like what like a Spelunky kind of mode, you know? So
oh yeah, I remember Spelunky. That game was dope.
Yeah, so like then they talked about the Typhoon Hunter multiplayer update, a hide and seek, and then a 1v5. and then adding VR. So then after that, they came out and talked about Wolfenstein Youngbloods. This follows the twin daughters of BJ Blazkowicz.
Blazkowicz twins, yeah.
Solo or co-op, and then so that kind of puts some interesting questions on where Wolfenstein 2 ended. And is this remember they had Wolfenstein, then they had Wolfenstein Old Blood?
Yep.
So then now they had Wolfenstein 2 and Wolfenstein
The New Colossus?
The Youngbloods, the Youngbloods, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of interesting, like what's going to happen there. Then they talked about a Wolfenstein VR game called Cyberpilot. We play as a hacker.
Yeah. I didn't understand that at all.
Then they announced the best Skyrim ever. Skyrim on Alexa with Keegan-Michael Key, where he says, "I eat all the cheese."
he was, and then his wife was like, "Don't eat the cheese. You're fucking lactose intolerant or whatever."
Yeah. So then Todd Howard came out, cracked some jokes.
I hate his face.
Oh no, he came up before that for Skyrim to crack jokes.
He wanted to talk about fucking stupid Key and Peele.
And then they showed Fallout 76. Talked about it being the tercentenary anniversary for Vault. So things everyone had already discovered.
Yeah.
Then it showed a gameplay demo, and they very much confirmed what everyone thought is like a Rust game.
Yeah.
A multiplayer base defense, and they showed like
online.
Yeah, online presence. It's PvEVP.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever you want it to be there. The whole thing's online. You can play solo, friends, randos. Very survival focused, but not as like survival mode as Fallout 4 could be.
No. Not as hardcore as survival mode.
Yeah, exactly.
So survival mode, you have to eat and drink.
Yeah, exactly. You're so not focusing on saving yourself.
You're not focusing on actually surviving as a human. You're focusing on surviving as a video game character.
Right. Then they talked about being able to carry your character from server to server.
Yeah, that's kind of neat. I think the way that they're handling it seems really good. Just the gameplay itself is just.
Well, to me, like like
I'm just gonna have to see.
The idea where like they said you can build your settlement and then your settlement goes with you. So like, what happens when you
fucking nukes it?
Well, what happens when you move to a server and someone has a settlement on the same spot? You picked a settlement.
Double decker.
Okay. They also talked about like the fact that there's tactical nukes in the world, and that you and other players can work together to get the nukes to nuke anything and anywhere. I kind of like that idea.
What's your experience with PvP based MMOs?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be a shit show, and then everyone's going to blow up everything.
Have you ever been in a TEF zone with a temporary enemy flag, where you have no option but to be TEF'd? Like, you can't be like, okay, I'm done being killed by you assholes, I'm turning this off. So like, they literally will just sit there and kick your dick into the dirt for as long as you're willing to stay.
Exactly. That's when I'm moving up, packing up my server, and leaving.
That's what I think, and I don't think Fallout 76 is going to be any different. I think it's going to be, oh, you have less dudes than us? Welcome to the grief zone.
Exactly. Let it be. Like, I think it'll be a fun jaunt, but it's not going to be something I'm going to be like.
You going to buy that stupid helmet?
That's what I was going to get. I'm not buying their Power Armor edition with figurines on the dark map and a helmet that comes out November 14th.
Yes, you are.
That thing's like $200, man.
God damn it, I don't care. I know you're buying it.
It's like $200.
You're so buying it.
I might buy it. Depends on how that helmet fits. I don't know.
It doesn't fit on our fat heads. It's like Master Chief is going to fit on a cat head.
I did have, I don't know, like, after I got my Pip-Boy and it was kind of chintzy, I was like,
I got to put my phone in this. Like, my phone's worth more than this thing.
So then they announced Fallout Shelter coming to PS4 and Switch, and still more updates and blah blah blah. Then they came up with a real surprise: Elder Scrolls Blades.
Just remember that surprise doesn't necessarily mean good or welcome.
I think it was interesting. It's a first-person Elder Scrolls RPG. Very much akin to
look like Ultima.
Well, yes, like an Ultima, or I was going to say probably like Morrowind. Very much like old school, but it can be played on a phone or a tablet.
So Todd Howard specifically mentioned the iPhone X.
Yeah.
Like he was like, you got to see it on an iPhone X to.
Well, yeah, because it's not going to be all stuttery and shitty.
Yeah, like on everybody else's phone. Besides.
So there's an arena, an Endless Dungeon Crawler 1v1, town mode, story mode, town building.
Some stuff. I feel like I'm shitting on Bethesda, and I don't mean to be. You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah.
I think like the hypest work is coming.
And the best part is that it's free, so that means you're going to be buying shit. Then the
This right here is the big boy.
2
to
in
me.
4 says you're hot. Thanks.
You?
Yeah, no, you, not me. Says Kyle is hot.
I got a friendo watching
Yeah.
apparently.
All right. So then, of course, Bethesda ended with not only announcing Starfield, but also Elder Scrolls 6.
So
Yay.
I know everyone's pumped about Elder Scrolls, but just know that that's also fake news.
I mean, you don't know until you see it.
That's what I'm saying. You're not going to see it for forever.
They showed you a
mosaic, like a fucking like panning.
yeah. They showed you some
pre-rendered map.
landscape, and
That could have been
font.
anything. Literally, could have been a actual
Yeah.
helicopter flying over New Zealand.
Yeah, no, it didn't look that good, but it didn't look that good.
I think Starfield's the big guy. I think
Right, but we've known about that for 2 years.
right, but I didn't.
It had like they had
Did it
registered
rear
the
its head?
trademark, yeah, but we didn't know what it was. Like that could have been a code name, you know. or whatever.
Okay.
But now we know it exists.
But yeah, Starfield, dude, Bethesda in space, man. That's the shit. I don't care what it is.
All right, so. All right, so give me your highlight on that. What are you most excited about?
Starfield.
Okay, I'm probably most excited about Doom 2, but it's not.
Oh,
called
Doom 2 is actually
but it's not called Doom 2.
right. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Starfield, but yeah, Doom 2 is probably the second big boy on there.
I mean, like Doom 2 is closer than Starfield,
Absolutely.
so that's why I'm excited about that. I want to see what Starfield is. I want to see what Fallout 76 is, but like.
I think we know what Fallout 76 is.
I think that like I sometimes that's one of those games I wish there was still like a way to rent games that wasn't Redbox and shitty. But Redbox is a little too expensive. I want to pay like $10 and have that thing for like a week,
Yeah.
and then be like, I'm done with this. Someone please.
I mean, like that's kind of how we operate.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I know how to do it, but I don't like.
yeah. It's a lot more work,
Yeah.
especially since Best Buy.
So someone
Oh,
asked.
I just punched the shit
Someone
out of
asked what the podcast name is. It's like right over there. Like
fucking golden
point
saucer.
down.
I love you, but read
Point down over like on this side of you.
like here.
Yeah, down a little bit,
it's-
down. Yeah, there you go. There, Kyle
This-
point to it.
This is Gus.
Yeah, there you go. All right,
Read the thing.
it's okay.
Thanks for watching.
Oh, how nice.
I don't mean to be disingenuous, but like
I think I know who that is. So you're allowed to be me. Hello. All right. So,
Oh, are we being trolled?
because
Because you got trolled a second ago.
possibly.
Yeah.
So the next conference that came up. Geez, we have so many of these. Square Enix.
Yeah. How many pages are we through?
I can still see the scrolly bar. So.
All right. Cool.
All right. Square Enix. This will be short because it was terrible.
Yeah. They said nothing cool about anything sweet. Let's go.
They showed another trailer for Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Then they
Longer
showed.
one, yeah.
Then they showed a Final Fantasy 14 online DLC trailer.
Yep.
And then they announced the Monster Hunter World crossover, which I thought was rather interesting. I did not see that coming from
Yeah. You
all.
gotta try to get that money wherever it is.
And then what else? Then they showed the awesome adventures of Captain Spirit again.
That's their thing. Yeah. Not Life is Strange 2.
Then they announced a game we already knew existed, Dragon Quest 11 Echoes of an Elusive Age. That comes out September 4th for PS4. It's already out in Japan, so...
Neon Ishimasu.
Then they showed Platinum's new game, Babylon's Fall. So if you remember, that was the very like... Okay, all right.
I don't remember anything about that. What, I don't even think I remembered seeing this during the press conference.
Babylon's Fall game.
I was probably having myself a whiz.
Okay. Well, it's a new Platinum game, so
Yeah, it's platinum, so I mean, like, it's fine.
it kind of looked like Dark Souls-y, kind of.
Oh, I know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on. We're back to my thing. That comes out
More near.
That one's PS4 exclusive, by the way.
PC as well.
Yeah. What I mean, like,
Yeah.
Then they showed Nier again, and that's where they didn't have the Xbox One X.
Near,
Then they showed
far.
they showed Octopath Traveler trailer. And then
There's 8 dudes in that game.
July 13th, which is right around the corner.
It's coming up. You play it.
Yeah, Just Cause 4 was then shown. They talk about like being the biggest Just Cause game yet. Set in Belize, which sounds like Belize.
But it's not.
Extreme weather. They showed didn't they show that's where they had the tornadoes, right?
Hurricanes, tornadoes, storms, etc.
Yeah, and it was really weird. They had of course saying that it was more Rico, so
yeah.
and out December 4th. Then they showed like a live action trailer of a guy walking up and like then just like it transitions into a game and he starts fighting these dudes and one of the streams I was watching like it's the fucking bouncer again. They're gonna do the fucking bounce.
Nope.
So apparently it's called The Quiet Man and PC PS4 exclusive. And then they showed that Kingdom Hearts trailer.
Kingdom
again.
Farts, yeah.
Showed it again. And that was the end of their trailer. That was it. That's all Square Enix did. That's it.
I mean, good.
Pre-recorded and was terrible. I think it was like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I was unimpressed. What's your pull out of that one? Like,
Dragon Quest.
okay, that was very Toriyama. Very like you can still see his influence.
That's probably why is because like I still really have a connection to that art style, and like turn-based RPGs just feel really nice.
Yeah,
I still play them. Like I'm playing Ni no Kuni 2 right now, and it's not turn-based, but it's still a very traditional RPG, and I'm having a fucking great time playing it. So like there are times where like I still just want to like fall back and play something that's relaxing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I think that for me is the turn-based RPG genre.
I'm excited for Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Like they showed like
Not at all.
they like the thing that's like weirded me out about that. It was very like it was the section they showed was them doing stealth. And like her just like murdering dudes, just like no like they didn't explain like anything.
No, she's a killer now.
Yeah, she's just out there murdering people. And I was like, oh, okay, all right.
Remember, she had her degree of like mourning for it and like feeling like a monster.
That's the weird part about it. Is she's just murdering these dudes.
That's what I'm saying.
problem.
Like, now she's like a calloused, hardened killer. Like,
Okay. I was if I wasn't picking Tomb Raider, I'm interested in Octopath Traveler, but I do not think I'll ever.
It's got a very Joey art aesthetic, but other than that, I do not think it's for you.
I think that a lot like Bravely Default, where I'm like, oh, this is.
It looks fantastic,
looks
and then you
great.
go to play it, and you'll be like, what the fuck? This game is long as balls.
All right, moving right along. The next conference, Ubisoft.
Woo, man, yeah, they sure fucking showed some video games.
So basically, I think they did the best thing they could do for Just Dance, and which is they just had people dancing.
Just dancing.
They were just dancing.
The game's called Just Dance. Don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah. Then they showed the trailer for Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah, what the fuck? Even what the fuck?
Yeah, so like it basically went through this whole thing where like some recognizable characters, and then it gets to the end, and they finally reveal Jade, and Jade's like a bad guy. And you're like, wasn't Jade like a reporter in the first game?
Like Joseph Gordon-Levitt was there?
Yeah. And
like
then,
what? Like wasn't fucking like Willem Dafoe like in that shit? Like or
I don't remember that. So you mentioned Joseph Gordon-Levitt. So he showed up to promote his business venture called Hit Record.
Yeah.
Where you can contribute to art and assets to.
What a fucking scheme! Like literally, just like
to
hey,
Beyond Good and Evil 2.
We don't quite know how to fucking make this shit. So, like, what if all you actually talented people just gave us your shit for free?
All right, so let me give you the Joey. Maybe it's not so bad take on it. Now I'm gonna fully say that I'm 100% on the. This seems real skeezy. All right,
Okay.
I'm 100% there. Like,
Play devil's advocate for me.
but like the way I could see this working out. And maybe it's just a problem with presentation where they're like, hey, we know there's a lot of artists out there who are unique and talented and want to be featured in a game in any way possible, even if it's only a small tidbit. And,
even if it's getting their name in the credits and not a fucking signature on a paycheck.
If it's a small pittance and, just a, hidden thing here or there. And if you want to build a world that feels lived in and unique, getting a lot of creative types to
Fuck you,
contribute-
man. I hate when you like make sense.
right, to contribute. Like I'm just telling, this is the pitch
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
This is
yeah.
how they got it. This is how they got it.
The sure.
Right. So, like a car whizzes by and you don't hear a whole song, you hear a 15-second loop
Sure.
of a song, or
Yeah,
there's,
all right.
graffiti that's tattered behind some
I'm
stuff.
slightly less atrociously not on board.
But
with
I
what
will
you're
say, they did not pitch that at all, right? But if you were having a living, breathing city, like imagine a Grand Theft Auto 5 style city, and there's like little pieces of everyone's stuff in there everywhere, it would feel more authentic and more real.
It would, and you're right.
But that they didn't say that, and they didn't do that. But that would
But they should fucking pay people for work.
they should. They said they were paying everyone, but it's capped at like $50,000 total.
That's a real amount of money.
Right, but you don't but you don't know how your work's going to be used.
Yeah,
you don't know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair. All right. Well,
Exactly.
I'm a little less like directly defiant of that thing.
But that just because I'm able to put a positive spin on it doesn't no
Right,
one has
yeah.
come out and said that since. Oh, not that I've seen. You know what I'm saying? Other than they're
Sure.
saying yes, people are going to get paid. Yes, there's a hard cap. We don't. You know what I'm saying? That's all that's been said. So then they show they bring out the guy who looks like he plays it, Rainbow Six Siege, right?
Hey, boys.
They talk about there's 35 million people playing that game, and I was like, well, they've had a lot of free weekends.
They meant 35 total over from launch till now.
Yeah, and then they talk about their new update, esports, their documentary, and then the stuff they have. They're gonna have more stuff coming in August. Then they did the weirdest shit ever, and had
That guy who fell through the podium.
yeah, like they were doing some Jackass style like stunt work with the guy who had like a piece of duct tape over the Fox Racing logo, and they announced Trials Rising, which was
Trials HD's
an HD
baby.
So you can register for a beta, comes out in February, and it just looks like a good Trials game,
Yeah, it looks fine.
And then
I love Trials, and I'll probably like this.
Again, they said they turned to the Trials community for help developing it, so that's kind of weird. Then they show like an extended version of the Division 2 trailer we've already seen.
Yep, still.
And then they
don't care about this game.
Then they talk about all the updates being free, and so they said like 3 episodes and like little sparse things in between 3 events, and that another beta, and it comes out in March. And then like really weird like Critical Hits and Kirk Grant Chope, right? What was him, right?
Grant Kirkhope.
Yeah, he came on stage, and they just kind of like played some Donkey Kong tunes.
There's a girl who was playing guitar who was like way too into it.
Yeah, and then like they were talking about Mario & Rabbids Kingdom Battle out this end of this month, and I was like, okay,
Yeah, is it another game or is it DLC to the first?
it's DLC to the first one,
Okay,
but it's
cool.
like an expansion because you can play as Donkey Kong,
Yeah, okay.
and so it's interesting, but that just seems kind of like we already knew about that.
Yeah.
Then they announced. They showed a new trailer for Skull and Bones. That's their pirate ship, Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed 3.
No, 4.
Yeah, Black Flag.
Yeah.
Well, it happened in 3, and then it was capitalized in Black Flag.
Right, and then they eventually just made this game, Skull and Bones,
Which is basically just like the combat from Black Flag with a lot more thought out combat system and more developed systems.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like it seems interesting, and like I it seems like a better realized Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
At the same time, like it's like I don't know if I want to play that or not.
Same. It's
But I mean, like if you like pirates, I mean,
it's subsequently my pick for the Ubisoft conference.
Oh really?
But, yeah. Because the next
But
thing
we're
sounds-
not. Transference with
real
Elijah
dumb.
Wood. They've been
Sounds real
talking about
dumb.
that forever. I'm really excited about Transference. They didn't show much, and like they just talk about like transferring consciousness, and it's real weird. Like it's like a fucking
Elijah Wood
FMV game.
showed up, and I was like,
It was a Hobbit.
why are him and Joseph Gordon-Levitt hanging out? You know those two were hanging out in the
Yeah.
back.
So then like
All these fucking nerds.
this was my surprise is that they show a trailer for their Starlink Battle for Atlas, which is their like Toys to Life Starship game coming out in October, and then they show another trailer that shows that Star Fox is coming to the Switch version And then Shiggy's there, and they give him a trophy,
And Shiggy was like, "Thank you."
and it was really weird.
They didn't even let him on stage. He just like,
They let him on to go back to the backstage.
no, he didn't. On the stage, yeah. But he literally, they're like, "Here's this toy," and he opened it up, and he was like, "This is crap." And he was like, "Okay."
Yeah. So obviously more amiibos and stuff on that.
He was like, "I shit more creativity than you do."
I think it should be interesting to look at. I don't know how I feel about that one. Then they came out and talked about For Honor.
Not For Honor.
New DLC. They added, which was pretty cool. The DLC called Marching Fire, and they're adding Chinese fighters to the DLC. So a new 4v4 mode called Breach, and then they went on to talk about the Crew 2, and I fell asleep.
Yeah.
And then they talked about Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and then it just then hit me that it was Homer's Odyssey, and I was like, oh yeah, that's great.
Homer's Odyssey.
And then so
You made a great joke too. I was like, Joey, what do you think about Assassin's Creed Odyssey? You're like, I'm gonna wait for the Iliad.
yeah, and then set in Greece. It's the Athens versus Sparta, the Peloponnesian War. So you're gonna see. They even mentioned what's his nuts. From 300.
Oh, Leonidas.
They mentioned Leonidas' spear.
And Socrates was there. And,
Yeah. And then they showed gameplay, and it was weird.
It looks like hot shit.
The problem is, it looks like they just took.
It's a step back.
It looks like they took Origins and pulled the Egyptian theme out and shoved in the Greek theme.
I think it like actually looks worse than.
I did like that you could play as a male or female character.
This is the one time that it doesn't make sense.
Sure.
Like,
well, I mean,
any other Assassin's Creed, it's fine. And then the one time where you go to fucking Greece, where it's like women aren't allowed to fight. So like,
right. So that's the thing is like
you're
you're a behind the scenes player, you know, like or you're a secret.
But like as far as
whatever,
like
you know.
their bit of historical accuracy is just already fucked from the gate. So like,
allegedly there's gonna be a Minotaur.
oh well, never mind.
All right. So
is that on the bulleted thing?
Yeah.
Fight Minotaur. Giant battle for Minotaur tees. Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
so
it says it right fucking there.
So so you said your pick was
Skull and Bones or
Skull and
whatever.
Bones. Okay. I if it wasn't just a fucking trailer and they weren't so skeezy, I'd be into Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah.
Other than that, like I guess Trials. I want to play more Trials, but there was just something like that game. It got too complicated and too shitty. Like
they
last
are
time.
asking a lot from you.
So, all right, what else we got? I got this long ass PC section.
Yeah, like why?
I didn't know if there was anything that like someone wanted to talk about in there.
What is this? This is all just like what is this?
Like you want to know about Killing Floor 2 or Maneater or
Warframe? Yeah, like
Jurassic World Evolution that came out.
Still,
Jurassic World Evolution was announced there, and they announced
Stormland?
it was
Like, what
coming
is
out the
that?
next day. That was the Jurassic Park.
Sable? It's not Fable. What the fuck?
Sable actually looks pretty good. It looks like kind of like Journey.
Oh well, this Journey's good.
Yeah, and then
Naita? What is fucking 2 Point Hospital? What the fuck?
that 2 Point Hospital is the people who made Theme Hospital. See, there's a lot in here.
Oh look, we got to the Sony press.
And 1880. All right. So there's some. All right. So let's do the Sony.
I like how we're like the one fucking group of people that are like PC games. The fuck out of my face.
All right. Well, I wouldn't want to talk about it anyway, but I put them on there just in case like there was anything.
You're right. You're right. If you have any questions about PC games and you want to know Joey and I's opinion, you can email us at goldensaucer. Fucking whatever.
Podcast at goldensaucer.net. Just send it.
And I'll email you a thing that says what?
Just send,
don't you know who we are?
I'll send them a picture of that 550 Ti I found in a box while I was cleaning my room. All right. So then the Sony press conference come up, and oh god. So this was the weirdest shit ever.
Weird. Sony conference is weird. You guys are weird.
No, like, so Sony comes out and they bring a guy out, the composer for The Last of Us, and then he plays a song on like a banjo, but allegedly it wasn't a banjo. It was some other instrument that looks like a banjo.
That was a fucking banjo.
But so then like he plays this thing and then everyone cheers, and then they start showing a trailer from The Last of Us Part 2. And I keep wanting to say Zoe, but it's not Zoe. It's Elle, right?
Ellie.
Ellie, yeah. So they show Ellie kind of like grown up, and like she's at some I guess a mixer, like a barn mixer, you know what I'm saying? And like the girl, you know, that she's there with is kind of like hitting on her, and like she's like, oh, they're all looking at you, and then like they kiss, and then this weird thing is like, it's like as soon as she kisses, it transitions into like this dark gameplay of like people hunting her down and her like stealthing around and killing them by stabbing them in the throat, and shooting them in the head with arrows. And then, you know, she's hiding in her car, and someone like looks on her and she shoots them right in the face.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
and it was like, you know, it's very much focused on like that tension that the first game had, you know, where, you know, there's people out to get you, you got to manage your resources, you got to hide, you got to use everything at your disposal. But like, to me, it looked a little bit, I don't want to say too good. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that line, you're like, is this really on a PS4, or did you put it on like the PC version of what you think a PS4 Pro is going to look like? You know?
Yeah. I think that like that trailer also suffers from the we picked the dopest shit for you to see.
Yeah.
And like we're not going to even gloss over the fact that there's so much fucking interim A to B bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, that's my issue with the first game.
Right. They definitely show you a lot of action and not a lot of the tedium puzzle solving.
Walking around listening to forced cutscene behind loading screen, like moving a fucking dumpster so you can climb up a fucking building nonsense.
Some people really like that.
I know, but like...
They like a world they lived in for a long time.
Okay.
I don't say that they're right or wrong. But like, that some of that is kind of, you're like, I just want... like that's the kind of where like the Uncharted games were doing really well for a while. It's like they just went from action to action to action to action to action to action. You know,
like
they're hitting the button. You know what I'm saying?
If the Kyle video game development company like ever gets off the ground, I would be remiss to not make games that weren't fun the entire time you played.
Well, that's kind of why we like Doom, is because the Doom is just like action. It's
not even like action. Like even the times where like somebody's like talking to you, like you still feel like I'm gonna fuck this guy. You know what I mean? Like, and true. Like I don't get that from The Last of Us. Like,
I think it's definitely like a story where they're heavily laying on the story. You know, they're heavily relying on the story to get you what you want. You know?
Yeah.
And so and then like the story the scene transitions back to them kissing, and you're like, that was really, why is she thinking about that? And then you finally realize the reason why.
Because it's human, Joey.
No. You realize the reason why that Sony's being all weird is like the people were in a room made to look like that barn dance that they were in.
Yeah.
So then they like go to an intermission, and and then they're like, everyone's on Twitter's like, why are they at an intermission? And then like you eventually find out they're moving everyone from one room to another room. And so they talk with Sean Layden. They talk about pre-order Black Ops 4 and getting 4 classic Black Ops packs only if you for Black Ops 3, only if you pre-order Black Ops 4 through the PlayStation Store that night.
Yeah.
And then eventually, throughout whatever. And then eventually it slips out. They're adding New Game Plus to God of War, which I'm excited about. And then they show some trailers, and
its bulleted Twitch stream crashed.
they showed trailers to the stuff they already saw. So then they go back, and they're in this other room that looks strikingly like the first room, but like less decorated, like a barn. And then they pull out a guy, and he's playing a bamboo flute.
You phrased this a lot better than I would have.
What?
I would have been like, some honky in a kimono.
All right. Well,
playing a wood flute.
I mean, he did a great job.
It was great, but it was fucking weird to look at.
Right. So you're watching this from your house, and you're like scratching your ball.
I was here. Yeah, I was here. So I was like, what the fuck?
Right. Where's the game?
And then
you're like, fucking... Millhouse, when are they getting to the fireworks factory?
Yeah. But then that game.
So they're revealing Ghost of Tsushima. Not revealing, but they're showing gameplay trailer from Ghost of Tsushima. So this is done by Sucker Punch, who did
Infamous, yeah.
Infamous, set in Japan, feudal Japan, even, right?
Old Japan.
The Hun, I believe they are no, not the Huns. Fuck, I think it was the Huns, wasn't it?
Mongols.
The Mongols, yeah. So they show it, and like very open world. They show like Bushido blade style attacks, like single hit killing dudes.
As they should. I mean, it's a katana to the neck, like
the sword combat. they show kind of like stealthing around, parrying and finishing. And then they like show you, it is the Mongols, it says here. Okay, so they show a boss fight between like another character, and they show some stuff, and then like it's like the most impressive part of this demo was that like the landscape just looks totally like real, and like at one point like the leaves are falling off the trees and like coating the ground, and it's like a fall day, like you know, like the kicking up the leaves, like you know, like you're there.
Yeah.
So definitely kind of a cool kind of aesthetic, but like they don't really tell you what the game is.
Yeah, we don't know anything about it other than like it's like vaguely open world set in Japan.
And like one of the coolest things I heard was like if the developers let you turn on like a black and white filter and play that game. So it's like Kurosawa film style.
Oh wow.
That would be fucking sweet.
That would be fucking cool.
Get some blood hoses.
Oh yeah, you think it would look like Sucker Punch? Like or not Sucker Punch, Sin City?
Yeah, kind of like that, but like that would be amazing. Well, you remember Kurosawa films, they had the blood hoses,
Yeah.
just like spraying blood everywhere. It was fucking insane. But anyway, so that was interesting. And then they roll a trailer for a game called Control. It's like super trippy, and like there's a gun that like lady's holding a gun, and it's like breathing, like it's pulsating and like breathing, like the weapon's coming apart. So
Joe, you ever done acid?
like it looked like psyops or like you were on acid. Yeah. Real trippy kind of shit. Like,
yeah, that's kind of a thing you
world
get.
bending.
Yeah.
So that comes out. Then they did like a really cool trailer.
You have no idea how much hype I've heard about this next thing.
Okay. Well, like I've heard a lot of hype about it too, but like it was kind of one of when it came up, it was one of those things. If you knew what you were listening to, you would instantly hit on it. But it was cool because like there's like it's from the perspective of a mouse or a rat. It doesn't really matter, and you see like a mouse scurrying along in a warehouse room or even a storage room, in front of a PlayStation 1, in front of a Sony TV, and then they're like a fight ensues, and the mouse is trying to avoid, you know, whoever's fighting in there, and eventually the mouse gets crushed, and it comes back and look into his eye, it reveals Leon Kennedy, rookie cop for RCPD.
Stars.
So Resident Evil 2 remake. So they didn't really show any gameplay, but eventually gameplay came out, and it looks like very much.
Apparently one of the things that you were really concerned about has already been addressed.
What was that?
That the over the shoulder third person view is going to take away some validity of the horror genre. So like typically in a third person view, it gives you like a lot of access.
Yeah, you can see what's coming up behind you. And
so apparently they've tightened this camera view.
Okay.
In a way that like you're not able to see around corners, and it still feels very authentic to its original source material.
Right. So I mean, they want you to like.
They still want it to feel clunky.
Yeah, I mean that was part of 2 is like kind of fumbling around and like that fixed camera angles, and I can understand that's being old, like Resident Evil.
I think a lot of people don't even see like those fixed camera angles as like retro nostalgia. They just see it as like antiquated bullshit.
Right, but
so they don't
it sets up specific things though. Like that's how you got your jump scares from the lickers and the dogs coming through the windows.
I think that when you have a fixed camera perspective, especially in something that's why I wax on about level design in Castlevania 1.
Yeah.
When you have a fixed perspective, you're able to really control like what the player feels.
Yeah.
And like there's not really a lot of ways to do that when you have
like a free camera.
Like a free camera. Like that being said, when you do have a free camera, you have to like really stifle the amount of control that the player has, like PT.
Right, but even then you can do unique things where like you can let a player, you know, when a fixed camera, like with a fixed camera, well, not a fixed camera, but with a free camera like that, you can track where a player is looking.
Yeah. And
you can always trigger things behind them.
Yeah.
Without them seeing it. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's going to be the genius of this remake.
Yeah.
So the best thing about it is it looks like just more than a remake.
Yeah.
Than a remaster.
I imagine they're retooling it a little bit and like, you know, like making it a little better. I don't know, but like 1 was very survival horror, 2 was action horror, and like 3 was finally where it was just a fucking action game.
Yeah. I like 2 because it's very creature feature.
2 is the one I played the most.
Like when you play Resident Evil 0, like you're like, oh sure, there's like some fucking weird shit going on here. Like, oh look, a giant spider.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then like Resident Evil 2, you're like, that's a fucking monster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's nothing else explains the
and then you got the liquors in there and everything. Yeah.
like and like I think Resident Evil 2 did like the best job in like really being like, yo, what if we just put some really grotesque shit in your way?
And mind you, like a lot of the things we're talking about, we find out later. You know, like find out later it's coming to all the systems. It's coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox, not just PS4.
Yeah.
January 25th. So it's right around the corner, basically. I'm really excited about that. Let's keep going through the Sony press conference.
Yeah, yeah.
Next thing comes out is the thing I hated the most.
I don't remember the fucking bit of
It's
this.
basically Justin Roiland coming out and just doing his Justin Roiland
Hey
voices.
guys, here's my dick.
Yeah, basically he's just doing his Justin Roiland voices and announcing Trover Saves the Universe for PlayStation VR. Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out on stage. They finally,
They just rolled Kingdom Hearts 3 out, and he was like, oh. And-
they finally show the Pirates of the Caribbean world, which is probably the newest thing.
yeah.
Then they show a limited edition Kingdom Hearts PS4 Pro, which looks pretty good. And then they said the all-in-one Kingdom Hearts package only on PS4, which we already knew. Then the one of the other feature players, Death Stranding, is presented. So you could get Norman Reedus coming in close, saying he's just a delivery man.
I'm gonna steal Wesley's joke. Norman Reedus was there with Norman Fetus.
You get a baby's butt crack kind of thing in there.
Yeah.
You finally find out that the speculation may be correct, that those fetuses they're carrying around are clones of themselves in case they die. They show like the trailer just shows like them delivering packages.
Yeah, what
like,
the
to
fuck?
include, like a body.
What is Death Stranding?
At one point, like I think like if you read like Norman Reedus' clothes, he's like wearing branded clothes for the delivery company, and then he's like tightrope walking with like 20 fucking boxes on his back. Then they showed a new female character played by Lee Sado from Sado. And then like she had like half an umbrella when it's raining. Like what the fuck?
I don't know.
And then they talk about if Norman Reedus is eaten, it triggers a void out, which devastates the surrounding area. But he comes back obviously from like that fucking baby, right? And then it shows the enemies like stepping on the ground and like making like handprints. So like, you know, and then like they reveal like it's like saying he can't see them or whatever, but the other girl can. And they're like have umbilical cords attached to the sky and some shit. And they show him like trying to sneak past them, and then they show Lizzie Wagner's character, and that's the end of the fucking trailer. And no one knows what the fuck is happening. What the fuck is this game, right?
Don't know.
It's a fucking delivery.
Don't know.
So like,
I don't know. Fucking weird. Super pumped.
I want to see what this is.
I
can't look away.
The worst part is like the trailer happened, and I was like, well, you didn't answer a single question I had. I'm more confused.
They did answer why is the baby in there. He didn't eat it.
Yeah, I'm more confused than ever.
Yeah,
but like I gotta know. Like,
then they showed a teaser trailer for Neo 2.
Yeah, well, get fuck Neo 2. There's 2 other games that look way better than you coming out in the same fucking
Yeah, it
genre.
seemed kind of redundant, right?
Yeah,
At
like,
this point, right?
Sorry, Neo 2.
Yeah,
you tried.
Then they finally bring out the big guns. Old Spider-Man. And it was kind of cool. They kind of went through like his little rogues gallery there of like 5 dudes. I thought they were going with like a Sinister Six, but they show
It's mostly the Sinister Six.
Right, they show Electro, Rhino, Scorpion, Vulture, and then Mr. Negative.
Yeah.
Mr. Negative is that's the one created specifically for this game.
Okay.
And
Because like I saw him and like I literally like turned to like my roommate who's like a big comic fan, and I was like, who the fuck that? And he was like, that's nobody.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
So it kind of like they show some combat, and I agree with what's written here. It looks a lot like Batman Arkham.
Yeah.
Like at least in the combos and the abilities kind of going on there. But we've known that for a while.
Yeah, I know,
though.
but I'm so fucking sick of that combat system.
If it's simplified enough, I'm okay with it, you know?
I just don't want it to be light, medium, counter. Like it's just like it.
And like some people are disappointed that the web slinging it looks good, but it's not PlayStation 2, Spider-Man 2 style. Like you focus on points and then you web to the points. Like you web the points and then you can swing from there.
It's the only way to do it.
I think that's the most logical way to do it. I don't like the web in nothingness, and
yeah, like otherwise, like you just bring up like theoretical questions.
People like the monkey bars style.
Yeah, I know, and like that's cool and everything, and like I'm sure
ladder,
and I'm sure that there's going to be points where you can fulfill that fantasy.
Yeah,
but like otherwise, like fucking sorry, Spider-Man's got to adhere to certain rules of fucking physicality, man. Like there's like. If you want realism, then expect realism. You know what I mean? Like it's like I understand we're talking about superheroes, so like there's like a certain degree of plausibility that we're just like throwing out the window. But like that being said, you know what I mean? If fucking Batman just decided to fly, you would be like, this is bullshit.
Yeah. So the end of that trailer where they're all of them kicking him while he's down.
Yeah, I saw
the squeegee chair, and then someone shows up, and it's like, who showed up? So it could be Venom. Could be Spider-Gwen, could be Miles Morales, could be
Deadpool.
It could be it won't be Deadpool, but
you got that kind of access.
Yeah. What else? So then, like right after that was the end of the show, and then right after that, they show a PlayStation VR game from Software called Deracine.
Yeah,
I don't remember. I wasn't paying attention. So
yeah, it looked like a weird like avant-garde art and piece where like you're like experiencing like the life of it. It was so weird. I had no idea what it fucking was.
They didn't show Tetris Effect though, did they?
No.
Which I'm excited about. All right.
So what are you excited about, Joey? What's your big dog there?
I would put it like I really want to know what Death Stranding is.
Yeah. Yep.
Like I always love Spider-Man games, so I'm excited about that. Control, I'm really excited about because I like Remedy games. There's a lot for me here. Like
there's a lot for me too.
Resident Evil 2, I'm excited about.
But there's one that stands above all the others.
Is it Ghost of Tsushima for you? I was really excited about that too. I'm excited to see what that is. I don't think that's a me game, but like
we'll see.
It might be, and visually it looks. I like visually stunning games, so that might be something there.
But yeah, that's the big dog for me for sure.
Okay, I'll put my money on Spider-Man for right now, just because that's like Sony's thing.
That's a safe bet, I think. That game's going to be hyped no matter what.
Yeah.
Even if it sucks dick, it's still going to be super fun.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So then the last conference, right? No, Devolver Digital. I forgot about Devolver.
You're on your own for that one because I have no fucking idea what that even is.
Nintendo conference came out. Last one.
There's not a lot to this one, but like they're like, yo, one, two, like bish.
They did their Nintendo Direct style and then into a live Treehouse, which was super annoying for me because they could. I would have restructured this, but they show.
Apparently, there was a lot of people who had issues with the structuring of the entire weekend. Mm-hmm. Like I heard a lot of people complaining, being like, I feel like the things that were being directed at me like weren't hitting the notes that would make me want stuff, and like just like the overall presentation of things were like kind of convoluted. But that's neither here nor there.
Right. All right. So they showed Daemon X Machina. Which is like was this Mech Warrior game that they didn't really explain a whole lot about.
Mech game. Yeah,
then they showed Xenoblade Chronicles Torna, which was a DLC for Xenoblade Chronicles.
Sure, yeah.
Then they showed the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee trailer again.
You get a Mew if you buy the Pokeball.
Yeah, they announced that, and then they showed Super Mario Party. Which
looks fantastic. It looks like
that's the coolest part about that was when they showed the two switches they put down together, and then they drew like the thing to make them to join. So like I watched the gameplay of that later, and like apparently you can do the tanks. You can get the tanks, the little tank, and you can make the tank map like that.
Oh, that's cool.
And like you can kind of hide in the little section between the switches and stuff. I think it's really cool integrating two switches like that. Yeah. Even though it's pretty simplistically done, I still think that's neat. And like Super Mario Party has like 80 plus games, so I think that's a game that needs to be on that console. They showed a new Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Super Mario Party out in October.
Yeah.
They said that's next year. They showed Fortnite coming to Switch, which we already knew, thanks to who was it that spoiled it? Let's say it was LeBron James. It wasn't LeBron James.
It was Ninja.
It wasn't Ninja either. It was someone else that spoiled it.
It was Drake.
Was it Drake?
I find out.
I can't remember. I want to look it up because it was someone. It was a celebrity. Crap, who was it?
You think you're gonna get it like right off rip just by like?
I
You asked the Googler?
I asked the Googler. It doesn't say. All right.
It was Drake.
Sure. All right. So, anyways, Fortnite comes
He was
out.
at Degrassi High, and he was like,
It's out to that day.
"It was out.
Right.
It's out now."
It has since been downloaded 2 million times. It says downloaded 2 million times. How many of those?
Fuck.
How many of those were people at E3 downloading it?
Yeah, who cares though? 2 million times, fucking goddamn.
Then they showed.
Dude, Fortnite's a fucking juggernaut.
And it was free. So Overcooked 2, which I was excited about. They showed
Game's
the
so
ability.
cute, man.
They showed the ability to throw. Comes out August 2nd. Also, the ability to pair 2 Switches. Then they
better.
show Killer Queen Black. They showed Hollow Knight, Octopath Traveler, DBZ Fighters, Crash Bandicoot, Dark Souls Remastered, Monster Hunter Generations, Wolfenstein 2, Mega Man 11, Mario Tennis Aces, and then the worst part of the conference happened.
Oh shit! You're a fucking
I wore a shirt
crazy
about it.
person.
I wore my shirt for
You're
it.
a
Just to fucking-
crazy person.
All right, so hear me out here. This is big. Everyone knew it was coming because like they already announced it. They announced Smash Brothers Ultimate, and the way they announced it, they just said it was called Ultimate, right? And they're like, what we're going to do is we're going to show you the characters in there, and we're going to put a number by their name to indicate when they
many.
join the roster.
Yeah.
You know, obviously Mario's number 1, and then other characters follow suit along. So eventually they just revealed that every single character who's ever been in Smash Brothers is in this Smash Brothers, which is really impressive because there's a lot of characters, and that's a lot of licensing. You got Pac-Man, you got Sonic, you got Solid Snake, then you have the ancillary stuff like getting the Namco trophies, getting the other Sonic characters for
This
assists and
makes
stuff
it
like-
the largest crossover game of all time, right?
I believe so. Depends on how you look at it. Like MVC might be bigger just based on like if you count each individual property,
Oh, okay.
or even like a Tatsunoko versus Capcom, even, you know what I'm saying? If you count individual I don't know. Maybe. Doesn't matter. So basically everyone's in there. They talk about how you got a small starting roster and that you're just going to unlock characters as you go. And like they kind of said it was going to be a little more random.
They
Right?
actually said they were going to streamline the unlocking
Oh, really?
process.
Okay. I remember them saying they changed it a little bit, so it wasn't like how it was before.
They said the starting roster may be as small as Smash 64's 8 characters
Yeah.
and will expand.
Oh yeah, they said that as you play, more characters will appear.
Yeah, they said streamline the unlocking process.
So here's where things like they start. This is where I get like kind of weird about like this presentation. They start going through like a change log or patch notes, and I understand that's important. Like I'm not like I'm not denigrating that.
The issue is that I think like to a degree that they understand that this type of announcement and the way that they're announcing it is important to the esports community.
Right.
And so that they're trying to pander to that more so than to the previous demographic,
Right.
which was oh, you're a kid and you want to play Smash Brothers, which I
Right.
think is your demographic.
Right. And here's why I'm fine with you putting that in there. Like that needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? Like but they literally went character by character
They did.
with every single change in there.
Yeah.
And like it's important. Those are important because like you want to talk about it. But then eventually they get to like they talk about changes they made to the game, like final smashes being quicker.
1v1 matches dealing more damage.
Right. Exactly.
Changes to dodging and air dodging and mechanical changes.
Then they eventually talk about eventually they come around and say, oh well, we added alternate costume for Peach, which is Daisy, and her moves are different, and that makes sense. And then they talk about adding Splatoon.
Well, those are echo characters.
Yeah, echoes. So, but it makes sense. And then eventually they talk about adding the Inkling from Splatoon, which we knew was coming. And then they show like the assist trophies.
So would you have been happier if they had been like, Smash announcement, here's like the mechanical changes that we're making, here's the
Well, like, oh, we have this many changes, and you just blow it out where you show like all of them at once. like a big montage video, and then just run right at the bottom of the screen. We are going to tell you each and every one of these at the end of this stream. Right? So that's my thing. You could have put that at the end. So eventually it gets to the point where, like, after I watch them talk about that for 100 hours, then I get the things I care about, where they talk about more assist trophies, they talk about Pokemon, they talk about the Pokemon items, they talk about the stages, they talk about returning stages, they talk about Battlefield and Omega, you know, they talk about the improved air
GameCube
dodge.
controllers, amiibos.
Right, the game. That's the stuff that, like, the order there was really messed up. And then finally at the end they announced Ridley. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can kind of see your frustration now that you've broken it down like that.
Right, like you announce, like,
yeah, maybe the order was a little inflated in terms of maybe they thought that they were pumping the order of how they were announcing things in terms of how important they were to a consumer. And they were like, well, you know, GameCube compatibility, that's pretty high, so like we
right. Well, I mean, like, the GameCube controller, I feel like the amiibos being supported, like, you need to talk about who's in the game, you know, like
selling point. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, then you talk about, like, like I said, you could just blow out that same change log and just be like, here's all the changes we made, all the characters have changes, and we're going to go through them at the end again. You know, we're saying, you know, don't worry, we're going to talk about this at the end.
I feel you on this. Yeah, you know, they maybe could have handled it a little bit better.
Right.
That being said, man,
it's just because it's like it like literally like slams on the brakes.
Well, it's also the end of the show.
Unless you're the guy, right? But like, by the time like they got to Ridley being announced, I was just beat down. I didn't care.
You know, on the other end of that, though,
there are some people who are like, they're like, hold on, roll back the tape. I missed the fucking. The changes to Luigi. You know,
I was rock hard the entire time. So
right, I understand. Like like I feel like unless you were in the room with like a diehard Smash fan or someone who was like, you know,
I'm not a diehard Smash fan, but I love the fighting game community, which I feel like is another one of my homes.
Sure,
you know what I mean. So like, I'm just happy for all my friends. Like, I'm happy for Tommy Janky. I'm happy for Jeff Stryber. I'm happy for Diamond. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm happy for all those
the cats that, like, they're making a career out of this.
Right. So they get their game that they want. They got a lot of changes they want that they don't have. They didn't introduce tripping. You know,
on a fucking a hyper popular console. So like, even just the console being that popular, and then releasing a big flagship title for it, especially this early on in its life. Like, because, like, remember, we didn't get Smash for the
till it was almost dead. Yeah,
the Wii U, like, halfway through its life cycle. So like, having it a year or two into the Switch's life cycle, huge for it. It's gonna be selling fucking like hotcakes.
And then, you know, of course, like with the GameCube controller announcement and the controller adapter compatibility, right? And then they announced they're gonna have a new GameCube controller. Like I said, I sat there and I watched it, you know. But I just feel like some of that stuff was like a little too. I can like a little too technical.
You know, I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
Like, I really feel like you just come out, you announce it.
You didn't give me enough information before when you were like, you know, we'll talk about it.
Right. Well, I didn't want to spoil it for that, but like, I feel like all you got to do is just say, hey, like, if you want to get super deep in Smash, even if Reggie's like, hey, wow, Smash is better than ever, back and better than ever. Thank you for joining for Nintendo's offering. Don't go away, because we got plenty more Smash. We're going to talk about all this crazy Smash.
Because like they also still had like the conference Smash tournament too.
Right. So like right into like,
you probably could have like been like, hey, we're gonna go check out the fighters on the floor, and while we do that, like, check out like some of this new shit that we're like,
exactly.
Sure. I feel you.
There's like 100 different ways you could have just made that more interesting and, like, you know, less of a slog. And so out December 7th, which is
huge.
It's this year,
just in time for Christmas, boys and girls.
Just in time for everyone to fight fucking Christmas to get those adapters and the controllers. Buy them now. Don't be stupid.
The second they put that fucking controller bundle out for pre-order, do it. Don't be a fucking
they already
moron.
Amazon already put the
regular one out.
Not the things out, like, for pre-order and everything 2 or 3 times.
Not the controller ones.
Not the controller, the 4-port adapter.
Oh yeah. Does the Wii U one work?
Yeah. Backwards compatible, baby. Yeah, so you're set if you still got that shit.
I don't, but we'll get one.
You dumb bitch.
I wonder where.
I bet I know a guy who got like those.
Oh, do you? Cool. I'll throw you the $25.
They're $100 a piece. They're actually, I think, 20 now. They're not 25 though. Anyway, and the controllers are, I think, 30. All right, so that
I want one of those new ones.
the new ones. Let me get the new.
Let me get that new.
All right, so that's the Nintendo one. What's? I'm not even gonna hear about you talking about Smash Bros.
I will say that okay, so let's exclude Smash from the picks because it's not fair. It's clearly the dominator.
It's Dragon Ball Fighters.
No, believe it or not, I think it's Mario Party.
Mario Party is I'm actually excited about that game.
I miss Mario Party's old formats enough to where it's been enough time. I've had enough of a healing process to come to terms with the fact that I can have Mario Party back in my life.
So let me tell you like how I've seen this game. So like I watched some gameplay of it, and so like you can like it's like a board with like imagine like a chessboard style.
Okay.
And you're like navigating from A to B, and like you roll the dice and you pick your route that you want to go.
Do I get to roll the dice by shaking the Joy-Con?
No, they didn't do that.
Shut the fuck up.
I didn't see that, but
how dare you?
maybe they thought they didn't want you shaking your fucking screen. But anyway, I probably like
I just Zach Morris to you, by the way.
I probably like Mario Party or
say Dragon Ball Fighter Z, you fuck.
I would be. I have some interest in Overcooked 2, but that's multi-platform.
Oh, I know you do. I know you do.
All right, so I think that's basically the whole show. Oh, Devolver Digital.
I don't know what this is.
So they announced loot box coins. It's a plastic coin. The price changes for every hour for no reason. Let me see what they are right now. When I looked at the last time, they were $35. I guess they're currently sold out. What a bunch. So they showed off a game called Scum. It's an open world survival game. Then they also showed My Friend Pedro. That's the game where the guy has like two guns and he's like spinning and like you can.
Does he say die?
Kind of, and then like it's kind of like a twin stick shooter with slow mo acrobatics. You can like kick like a frying pan up and then shoot the frying pan and the bullets bounce off the frying pan and kill the guys and stuff like that. You can kick like a gas can at them. I would check it out. It's coming to the Switch and PC. And then they announced the best game ever, Metal Wolf Chaos XD. If you don't remember, that was a game that came out on the original Xbox in Japan only.
Why the fuck would I remember that?
Where you play as the vice president and he's a mech.
I'm back on.
Yeah. They also kept the shitty voice acting in there.
Of course they did.
So
they got all the original guys from Shenmue 2.
Yeah, so the problem is their tagline is Mech America Great Again.
Yo. Fuck, why are they so much smarter than me?
So hold on. No, sorry, not the vice president. You play as the 47th president of the United States, Michael Wilson, fighting against a rebellion led by your vice president, Richard Hawk. So you're piloting a mech versus Hawk's mech army with all these different things, and it's fucking stupid.
Brilliant. I love it.
Yeah. Just look up Metal Wolf Chaos. It's stupid. Also, Devolver Digital, they do like their joke conference where like it's like snipped together and it's not real and it's fucking funny.
Mega 64.
Kind of like Mega 64. Yeah. All right. So I think we talked about the things we liked, the things we saw that really intrigued us. I think like we've been talking forever, so let's close out with like some of the things that we thought we would see, we didn't see. Like
Interesting.
Some disappointments there also, you know. I got one. I didn't see any Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh.
Nothing, not at all. And they just came out and announced all those special editions.
Yeah.
They didn't show shit. You know what they didn't show? My fucking Elite controller version 2.
Yeah.
We know that exists.
Yeah.
They touched on the adaptive controller at Microsoft, but they didn't show it.
They showed it.
They showed it's in the background.
You could see it.
Yeah, but they didn't talk about it. I thought they'd at least talk about it for like a split second. They didn't talk about
That's just good PR is all that is.
They didn't talk about any like the same stuff that I was talking about, like they didn't talk about increasing storage space, they didn't talk about like new controller things, they didn't talk about new ways to play, stuff like that. They didn't talk about any of that. It was just games. We also didn't see a Mortal Kombat announcement, even though it's a Mortal Kombat year. We didn't see anything from Rocksteady, even though they're working on something.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What else? Nintendo, like, I felt other than Smash, they didn't have any hard hitting games.
Yeah.
Like, what do you got going? You got Smash, Mario Tennis Aces, and Mario Party.
Well, I mean, we just had Zelda, and so like no Metroid.
You didn't see Metroid. You didn't see Yoshi. You didn't see Kirby. They didn't talk about any 3DS games. They didn't talk about the life of the 3DS.
The 3DS is dead, so like
right, but they didn't talk about it at all. They didn't talk about like they even could have mentioned the Luigi's Mansion remake that's coming out for the 3DS. They didn't mention anything on the eShop. They didn't mention anything about Nintendo Online.
That's what I was gonna say. We didn't get any eShop stuff for the Switch either.
Nothing on Nintendo Online. Nothing about any of that. Like Microsoft didn't mention anything about Games with Gold getting improvements or how it's doing. PlayStation Plus didn't get mentioned. How PlayStation Plus games are coming along.
They just expect you to have that now. It's just part of the package.
But I'm just saying, like, they didn't mention about like any ideas of like where those services are going.
Yeah.
Right?
They're not going anywhere. They're just stagnating.
What else we didn't fucking see? Didn't see nothing on Bayonetta 3.
Yeah, no Bayo.
Didn't see nothing on Minecraft. How do we not have a Minecraft here? There's nothing in Minecraft. You know?
That's true. You know what I wish we had seen more? Fucking Fortnite, man. I just
they had a whole
I can't get enough of it.
Half the pro-ams, half the fucking fuckers didn't even show up for that thing. Didn't get any weed when Snoop Dogg. I was expecting
Where the
it
fuck
this year.
was Snoop Dogg's weed?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I mean, if you want to talk about some controversy that came out of here, so when Nintendo announced that speaking of Fortnite, that Fortnite was available, turns out if you had ever played Fortnite on your Epic account on your PS4, automatically locks you out of playing it on the Switch. Yeah. So, obviously, like, cross-platform play. Remember Sony?
I just remembered it's an audio thing.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So you remember, like,
I did a bunch of head shaking.
Remember, Sony has been the holdout on cross-platform play.
Right, I know.
They'll let people play with PC, but they won't let anyone play with other consoles.
They're like, no.
So it's even to the point where
we don't let people play on device.
If you play your Epic account on PS4, it is locked to the PS4 and just the PC. So you can't play on Switch. You can't play on Xbox. And people are mad because they're like, well,
in the words of the great High Five, Mr. Torque High Five. Fuck, I can't remember his name from Borderlands 2.
Handsome Jack?
No, Mr. Torque. His real name's High Five. Or his first name.
Yeah.
But you guys are being super exclusionary.
yeah. When they won't let him play D&D. All right. I mean, like, when they asked Sony about it, and like everyone took their chance, Nintendo and Microsoft, they took their chance to get a few shots, and like Sony just basically didn't acknowledge it. They're like, we want to make sure that our gamers are having the best experience possible on Fortnite, and we think
it's excluding Xbox players.
Like, we think we have this many players online, and the power of the PlayStation is there. That's it. Like, so like that's kind of a bummer, So, obviously, like, I also felt like there was a lot of games that were announced that like we already knew about, like, and a lot of repeats. Like, I don't care to see the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer on every single,
Yeah, that's a bit much.
That used to happen with Call of Duty. Also, the Call of Duty exclusionary deals, and like, like it's very much like, that was the other controversy, is that it has since come out that Black Ops multiplayer only Black Ops has a season pass that costs money for more maps. So like, I'm one of those guys that's like, hey, I'm probably not going to buy this because you cut the campaign, so
I already feel like I'm not getting what I'm paying for.
Yeah, so, and now you want to make me pay more money for more maps.
How is it that I feel like I'm getting cooled off the closer that I get to your computer? How does that work?
Cold air, baby.
How does that work?
Just turn the you may turn the fans up real high. I can do
this
that.
Is nice.
Hold on. Let me do that for
you.
you.
This is nice.
It's gonna get loud as fuck too.
It's fine. I'm like right next to it.
Anyway, I mean, PlayStation did announce the
catching a cool breeze.
The
over
View,
here. The PlayStation View.
Yeah,
Were you
they did
straight
announce that.
bunch of bullshit?
Did they all kick on?
They're already on.
I should have like. Oh my gosh.
Am I supposed to notice?
Yeah, they're supposed to. The fans are supposed to like kick up.
It's like coming out of the top. It's like pretty pleasant. The air that's coming out of the top.
Let me.
Cause I'm a little sweaty, you know. So like it feels good on the.
I don't know how to do it.
On the moist skin.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it. Hold on, let me do it. Anyway, they did announce that they were. They gave out PlayStation Plus. They gave out, what is it? The stupid game, Black Ops 3 for free. I did forget about that.
It's because it's forgettable.
Okay, here we go.
Yo, crank it.
I'm about to. Hold on.
Yo, crank it.
Hold on.
But crank it though.
It's not cranking. I don't know what we're doing here. Cooling mode.
Alf, come back.
Hold on.
We got to the point where, like, if Alf was here, he'd be calling us fucking derogatory shit, trying to get.
I think I got it.
Ooh. That's a nice cool breeze.
They should all be kicking at like 1,200 RPMs there.
Yo. This is pretty nice.
That's pretty loud. I can hear it from here.
You guys want a bit of this?
I just turned them all down. I just turned them all down.
Oh, Joey. Papa Joey said no.
All right. Well, I mean, that's the podcast. E3 was fucking a shit show.
It was all right.
I'm disappointed in it.
Like, overall?
I mean, there's a lot of things to get excited about, but I feel like a lot of the excitement was pushed out like weeks ago. Like from either leaks or spoilers.
We just live in too much of an age of information for E3 to be a proper reveal of things that are upcoming.
I mean, it's just a game year. That's the problem. It's just games. Like there's no hardware to talk about. There's no advancements. You know, like in the past, you know, they would try some kind of gimmick like VR or Kinect or you know, and then
I hate those things.
And I mean, just like sometimes those gimmicks are fun though. You know, and then like I said, Nintendo didn't have any heavy hitters. Like I was really expecting Nintendo to come out and say like,
you're wrong. Smash is the heaviest hitter.
You can't bring out Barry Bonds like Barry Bonds and these other guys. Babe Ruth.
But that's what they goddamn did.
It's Babe Ruth and the 1992 Toronto Blue Jays.
Right, but then like when Babe Ruth hits the home run, you'd still be like, fucking holy crap. No way you'd be like,
cool. 1 out of 9 of these things is amazing.
No way.
1 out of 9.
But then every time Babe Ruth hits it, it's a home run.
Yeah, that's right. Great.
Fucking. You want me to say later?
Yeah, all right, later. All right. What do we do?
Oh, yeah. If you want to get in touch with us,
podcast at goldensaucer.net.
Yep.
Or our names at goldensaucer.net.
Joey, Kyle, Alf, either one.
Yeah, let's look over there to check on the Alf cam. No,
He's
Alf.
over there still, yeah.
Like I even set it up so I could look at him.
Our precious baby still hasn't come home.
And then obviously, you know, Facebook, Twitter, all those things. So.
Yep, you can message us any one of those ways. If you watch us live on YouTube, you can comment live there.
Yeah, like some people did.
You can.
I feel like I put myself in the wrong spot.
If you live in Gainesville, Florida, you can fucking track us down on the street.
I should have went like that.
I'm frequently not on the street, so get fucked.
I'm not either, unless I'm walking my dog.
Don't fuck with Joey while he's walking his dog. Joey's packing mad heat.
Yeah, it's dog farts. Just a cup of dog fart.
Wham. Just cup of dog fart like Dovahkiin style.
Wham. Yes, and I'll eat all the cheese. Eat all the cheese. I eat all the cheese. I'll tell you later. All right, this is it. Bye.
Yeah, I don't got enough.
All right, bye.